multiple major snowstorms are about to crush the East Coast. Not one storm, multiple storms. And the first one is already forming right now, ready to strike just before Christmas with 6 to 10 inches of snow for New York City and a catastrophic ice threat that could leave hundreds of thousands without power. In 30 seconds, I'm going to reveal which major cities face up to a quarter-inch of ice accumulation that will snap power lines and make travel impossible for days. But first, here's a number that should stop you cold. 18 inches. That's the highest snowfall report from the storm that just hit Lewiston, Maine. And that was just the warm-up act. The main events are still coming. Up to a quarter-inch of freezing rain looks likely for large swaths of the mid-Atlantic, making travel extremely dangerous. After that storm, multiple Arctic invasions are coming, and another major winter storm is on the way. Does that sound like a quiet holiday season to you? Here's your first reward for staying with me. At the 5-minute mark, I'll show you the exact model disagreement that could shift the heaviest snow zone by over 100 miles, meaning millions of people could wake up to surprise snowfall they weren't expecting. Let me paint you a picture of the chaos unfolding right now across America. Out west, the flooding in Southern California is catastrophic. Landslides, terrible impacts. They're seeing upwards of 10 inches or more of precipitation right near Los Angeles. But while the West deals with floods, the East is about to get buried. Tonight, Christmas night, the winter storm machine starts cranking up. Starting around 10 p.m. Eastern Time, ice and snowfall begin for northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, and the upper peninsula of Michigan. The lower peninsula of Michigan sees snowfall for the very northern tip, but central and southern Michigan, that's the ice zone. Large ice implications, power outages, dangerous roads, and it's just getting started. Stay with me, because at the 3-minute 20-second mark, I'm going to reveal why meteorologists are watching 3 separate Arctic blasts that could make this the coldest, snowiest 2-week period of the entire winter. By tomorrow evening, Boxing Day, December 26th, the storm really gets going for Pennsylvania, New York, and the Mid-Atlantic. Freezing rain already falling across Pennsylvania, the very western areas of New York, and into Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, and Washington, D.C. By 4 p.m. on the 26th, we see a very heavy swath of snowfall from the Finger Lakes of New York into northeastern Pennsylvania, then northern New Jersey, Long Island, and New York City. New York City is potentially in the bullseye. But here's where it gets complicated, and this is critical information you need to understand. The models disagree. Significantly. Some models show the heavy snow band further north, some show it further south. The difference? Over 100 miles. That's the difference between Philadelphia getting 10 inches or getting 1 inch, between New York City getting buried or getting a dusting. This is super concerning for Pennsylvania and Maryland. Ice events are finicky, extremely finicky. But if we do see that 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch of ice on the 26th into the 27th, traveling is going to be super impacted and very dangerous. Even by 4 a.m. Saturday, December 27th, we can still see moderate to heavy snowfall ongoing. Here's the crossroads we're at. If the storm sticks where current guidance shows it, northern New Jersey, northeastern Pennsylvania, and New York City look to be the bullseye where 6 to 10 inches of snowfall would be possible. If it trends northward a bit, those areas would still see some snowfall, but southern New England becomes more of the bullseye. If it trends south, which we do have some evidence of, this could drop into central and southern New Jersey, as well as Philadelphia and eastern Pennsylvania, seeing those larger amounts. The question you should be asking yourself right now is, which scenario affects me? Now, I promised you critical information at the 5-minute mark. Here it is. Let me show you the model disagreement in detail, because understanding this could save your life, or at least your travel plans. The National Weather Service current forecast shows anywhere from 1/10 to 1/4 inch of ice for a lot of Pennsylvania, especially northwestern and central Pennsylvania, and a lot of Maryland as well. This could be a pretty widespread ice event. Super impactful. Here's a sobering thought. The freezing rain could be more of an impact to driving than snowfall. It's just a sheet of ice. Terrible, terrible, terrible. For total snowfall, the National Weather Service forecast shows grays for 1 inch or 2 or less, blues for 2 to 6 inches, purples for northeastern Pennsylvania, southern New York, and central and northern New Jersey at 6 to 10 inches. But look at the European model. It's a little further north, more over New York State, Connecticut, and Long Island. A little bit for New York City, but this is a more northern solution. The NAM model, the 12-kilometer NAM, shows more 2 to 6 inch amounts and a swath of 6 to 10 inches straight through northeastern Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey, and right into New York City. Then there's the southern solution. The RRFS model, which is set to replace the NAM in March, shows 6 to 10 inches more through central Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, and into southern and central New Jersey. A much further south solution on some high-resolution models. What does this mean practically? It means yes, we expect this to be further north than the southern solution. But keep in mind, there's the possibility this goes further south than we're currently thinking. And that could have huge implications for areas not expecting the snowfall as of now. Especially since if you're traveling for Christmas, you've likely already done it. You're probably already where you're gonna be. Traveling back home might be a lot more difficult than you anticipated. Super impactful. Let me ask you something. Have you checked the forecast for your route home? Have you considered delaying your trip? Have you prepared your vehicle for winter weather? If you answered no to any of those questions, you need to act right now. At the 10-minute mark, I want to talk about what comes after this storm because it gets even more intense. After the initial winter storm moves through, an Arctic blast arrives right around December 28th and 29th, dipping down into the east. There's a bit of a winter storm nearby the Northeast that brings wintry weather, especially to the Great Lakes, interior, mid-Atlantic, and northern Northeast areas. But meteorologists are watching a piece of energy down in New Mexico, Texas, and Oklahoma that could try to swing along the jet stream and get involved. As of now, models aren't suggesting that very much anymore, but it's still on the table. The ingredients are sitting there. We're just not seeing them put the two puzzle pieces together yet. Then comes the lake effect snowfall, really impacting these areas with relentless snow bands. Then here comes the New Year snow system. Models show it moving down into the northern plains, upper Midwest, and Great Lakes. This one doesn't swing as far south as models showed yesterday, but it still impacts the mid-Atlantic and Northeast as this low nearly bombs out. We're looking at a 986 millibar low-pressure center. Models have been flirting with this one, literally going through bombogenesis, which is dropping 24 or more millibars in pressure in a 24-hour period. Very close to that threshold. That system brings very heavy snowfall to the Northeast before moving out. Then we get a brief warm-up. Not way above normal, just back to normal. As we approach the end of the first week of January, continued snowfall for the Great Lakes and Northeast during that first week, then another wintry event as we close out that first week with a low near Missouri and heavier snowfall for the Midwest and Great Lakes. This is very far out, so take it with a grain of salt, but that's what models are showing. And then we get to a very interesting point. The northern jet is moving across. The southern jet perfectly infuses into it. And we have another piece of energy in that same area, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, even bringing snowfall down there. It could easily latch on to this jet stream. If this type of storm track starts to really get suggested by models, we need to watch for deeper south areas than typical. New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, southern Kansas, northern Gulf states, Tennessee, Kentucky, lower mid-Atlantic. These are the types of patterns where these areas can get a surprise system. On 2 occasions during this entire model run, we've seen models try to put together a southern slider. We need to be on alert that the ingredients are there. Here's a statistic that should blow your mind. 3 Arctic blasts are showing up on this model. Not 1, not 2, 3. We get brief warm-ups in between. It's not staying stagnant cold, but we see repetitive Arctic blasts moving in one after another. This is what creates snow opportunities. These storms move in between the warm and cold air masses, not straight through the cold. You want to see this up and down if you're looking for snowfall. The temperature pattern tells the story. We're going to be very warm for Christmas across much of the nation, but on Boxing Day, the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast are far below normal. It's interesting. Areas dealing with record warm temperatures in the middle of the nation, while we're getting really cold temperatures and snowfall in the Northeast. A tale of two completely different stories. As we move past that, we continue to see warmer air until the 28th and 29th, when an Arctic blast knocks it out. Then a brief warm-up between cooldowns. Then an even more impactful Arctic blast for January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Another brief warm-up, then another Arctic blast moves in right at the end of the model run. Maybe not just 2, but 3 Arctic blasts. Up and down. Warm, cold, warm, cold, warm, cold. Perfect for snow. At the 15-minute mark, let me show you the precipitation and snowfall totals. Total precipitation through the entire model run is huge out west, not only for the West Coast, but also the Rocky Mountains. Huge totals near Los Angeles. Decent amounts in the east. A little bit of a drier spot over the southeast, but generally decent for this time of year. Total snowfall on the European model is really elevated, not only for the Sierra Nevada, Cascades, and Rockies, but looking at the northern plains straight through the Midwest. This whole chunk of the nation, northern plains, upper Midwest, Great Lakes, parts of the Mid-Atlantic, and the Northeast. This is a really snowy look over the next 2 weeks. This would amount to many different snow systems, adding up to feet of snowfall for some spots, especially when you move beyond the pinks into the pastels. That's indicative of close to 2 feet or more of snowfall. Really high totals from the models right now. Let me break down what 2 feet of snow means. That's waist high on most people. That's enough to completely bury cars. That's enough to collapse roofs on some structures. That's enough to shut down entire cities for days. This isn't a dusting. This isn't a nuisance. This is major, impactful, potentially dangerous snowfall. The question isn't whether you'll see snow if you live in these areas. The question is how much and when. Now, at the 20-minute mark, let me give you critical safety guidance for navigating multiple winter storms. For the first storm, December 26th into 27th, the ice threat is the primary concern. If you're in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, or DC, prepare for significant icing. A 1/4 inch of ice will bring down power lines, trees will snap, roads will become skating rinks. Prepare for extended power outages now, not tomorrow, now. Stock food, water, batteries, flashlights, candles. Have a backup heat source ready. For areas in the snow zone, 6 to 10 inches is a major snowstorm. Prepare your home, stock up on supplies, clear your schedule. Don't plan to travel on the 26th or 27th. For New York City, northern New Jersey, northeastern Pennsylvania, you're likely in the heaviest snow zone. But watch forecasts closely, because this could shift. For Philadelphia and southern New Jersey, you might be in the ice zone or you might get heavy snow. The difference is literally which way the storm tracks. Monitor updates constantly. For the Arctic blasts, multiple waves of brutally cold air are coming. Each one will drop temperatures significantly. Each one will create dangerous wind chills. Protect your pipes. Let faucets drip. Insulate exposed pipes. Open cabinets under sinks. Limit outdoor exposure. Dress in layers. Cover all exposed skin. Watch for frostbite symptoms. Check on vulnerable neighbors, elderly people, those living alone, people with medical conditions. These groups are especially at risk during extreme cold. For the multiple storm systems, don't let your guard down after one storm passes. Another one is coming, and then another. This is a pattern, not an event. Keep your emergency supplies stocked throughout the entire 2-week period. Don't use everything up on the first storm. Monitor forecasts daily, multiple times daily when storms are approaching. Conditions can change rapidly. Have backup plans for everything. Work, appointments, travel. Assume disruptions and plan accordingly. For lake-effect snow areas, Buffalo, Syracuse, Erie, Cleveland. You know the drill, but this pattern could be particularly intense. Relentless snow bands, feet of accumulation in narrow zones. Have extra food and supplies. Lake effect can shut you in for days. For potential southern snow, if you live in Tennessee, Arkansas, northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, Kentucky, southern Missouri, watch forecasts carefully in early January. The pattern could support a southern slider. These are the storms that catch southern areas off guard, the storms that cause major problems because infrastructure isn't designed for heavy snow. Be ready, have supplies, know how to drive in snow, or better yet, stay home. As Scripture tells us in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, to everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. Winter is a season. Snow is part of that season. We can fight it or we can accept it and prepare for it. Preparation isn't about fear. It's about wisdom. It's about respecting nature's power. It's about taking care of ourselves and our families. When we prepare properly, winter weather becomes manageable instead of catastrophic, inconvenient instead of dangerous. Let me give you the complete timeline once more. Today, December 24th, Christmas Eve. Previous snow event ending. Up to 18 inches fell in Lewiston, Maine. Brief break before next system. Tomorrow, December 25th, Christmas Day. Some snow showers return to northern areas of Northeast. 1 to 2 inches possible. Storm system begins developing. Tonight, around 10 p.m. Eastern, ice and snow start for northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, upper Michigan. December 26th, Boxing Day. Major winter storm in full force. Freezing rain Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, D.C., heavy snow northeastern Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey, New York City, Long Island, 6 to 10 inches possible in heaviest band. Up to quarter-inch ice in ice zone. Extremely dangerous travel. Power outages likely. December 27th, Saturday. Storm winds down through morning. Lake effect snow begins. Arctic blast approaches. December 28th and 29th, first Arctic blast arrives, temperatures crash, winter storm moves through Great Lakes, interior, mid-Atlantic, northern Northeast, additional snow possible. December 30th and 31st, New Year's Eve, major storm system develops, nearly bombs out to 986 millibars. Heavy snow, northern plains, upper Midwest, Great Lakes, mid-Atlantic, Northeast. Wind-driven snow, dangerous New Year's Eve conditions, January 1st through 3rd. Second Arctic blast, even colder than the first. Continued lake effect snow. Potential additional storm systems. First week of January, brief warm-up, then more winter weather. Low near Missouri brings snow to Midwest and Great Lakes. Mid-January, third Arctic blast possible. Potential southern slider storm. Areas from New Mexico through Tennessee to Mid-Atlantic need to watch closely. Throughout this period, multiple opportunities for feet of snowfall across northern plains, upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast. As we approach the end, let me emphasize this. We're entering an active, dangerous winter weather pattern. Not just one storm, multiple storms. Not just one cold snap, multiple Arctic blasts. This is the kind of pattern that tests infrastructure, that tests communities, that tests individuals. But here's what I want you to remember. We have warning. Our grandparents didn't have computer models showing them what was coming 2 weeks out. They dealt with whatever winter threw at them with only hours of notice. We have days. Use that advantage. Prepare now. Stock up now. Make plans now. And remember, in times of challenge, we see the best in humanity. Neighbors helping neighbors, communities pulling together, strangers becoming friends through shared hardship. Be that person. Be the helper. Check on your neighbors. Offer assistance. Share resources. As Christ taught us, love your neighbor as yourself. Winter weather gives us countless opportunities to live that out. Stay safe. Stay prepared. Help your neighbors. Keep your faith strong. And have a very Merry Christmas. May God bless you and keep you through the storms ahead.